Good evening, viewers. Welcome to EBN TV on your popular show, the Leadership Challenge Show, which we air every Tuesday here on EBN TV. We are glad that you're watching, and we are happy that you have walked along with us in our endeavor to impact on the kind of leadership that we have, whether it is leadership nationally, institutionally, organizationally, or at county levels, at whichever leadership level we can talk about. Thank you because you've been with us in the discussion on leadership. We are glad that you're watching, and at the bottom of this screen you'll find a number. We want to hear your feedback. We want to know what you're thinking, and we want to hear some of your views about the topic of discussion today. We are blessed today to have an accomplished man on the area of leadership. This is no other than John Mwai. John Mwai is a lawyer. He's also a leadership coach, a trainer, a motivational speaker, and a human resource practitioner. We have a full plate today. I want you to sit back and be together with us as we roll. Daktari, you're welcome to our program. I know you don't like people calling you Daktari, but you're welcome today. Thank you for coming to EBN TV. Maybe you can greet us and introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Revrend Kavoi. I appreciate for this moment that EBN TV has given us.
Yes.
And let me take this opportunity to greet our viewers wherever they are.
Yeah.
And welcome them to this program as we dissect different issues on leadership, especially in our country, leadership in the church, the leadership in general.
Yes.
And I'm sure our viewer is going to get a lot of benefit and understanding of the concept of leadership.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Keep with us and we roll straight away. John Mwai, what do you describe as leadership? Because we begin a definition today. Maybe we have done this before here on EBN TV, but we are getting more viewers that want to know what leadership is. So welcome and define leadership for us.
Thank you very much, Reverend, for the question about leadership. And I can see that there are so many definitions about leadership by different scholars, by different writers and others who try to describe what is leadership. But one common understanding about leadership and the definition of leadership is that leadership is influence. Leadership is influencing a group of people towards achieving a certain goal. So we can't talk about leadership without talking about influence. And sometimes we normally associate leadership with positions. Like somebody is an MP, a member of parliament, an MC, a senator, and we try to define leadership in those positions. But one thing is that leadership is not a position. Leadership is influence. That is one understanding of leadership, and normally agreed upon by many scholars that leadership is influence. And so maybe then now we can begin to look at leadership a little bit in a wider way, especially when it comes to influencing the masses. Because people are coming into leadership, but as they come into leadership, it's like they are not aware that they must influence a group towards a certain goal. Where do you think the connection is in our time? What happens sometimes, people try to use other forces than influence. Sometimes you find a leader maybe is let's say, for example, in elections, you find maybe a leader is trying to bribe people, is trying to buy influence instead of having that natural influence.
I think you need to say that again, because you know we are entering into another year of elections. And yes, we have really taken it by the horns.
You find that a leader is not influencing people towards a certain goal. So we can say he's influencing people artificially, maybe by bribing them, by giving them money and telling them, look, you can follow me, and it induces them to follow the leader, but not by convincing them, because influence comes out of convincing people, persuading people that this is the goal we need to achieve. We need to take this route to achieve that goal. And the people you are talking to, they agree with you and they start following you. You don't need to give them money. You don't need to induce them. You don't need to intimidate them. You don't need to threaten them. But
so exactly what you are saying is that if somebody is doing these inducements to become a leader, then they may not be a leader.
That one is not a leader. He might get a position, but by the end of the day, he's not a leader.
He's not a leader.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. Okay, wow. Do you think it is possible to for somebody to be a leader, and it's like people cannot identify him as a leader? Because I think the confusion is when somebody comes with money and yet somebody else also is a leader that we can identify, maybe because of vision, clear goals, he knows where he's going. And I want you really to input into this. Is it too hard for the masses to identify a leader?
Yes. Masses are able to identify a leader because the leader is taking them towards a certain goal.
Yes.
But if the leader induces the let's say, for example, the voters and or the masses, induces them, threatens them, or intimidates them, that leadership will at a point have a problem. Because people will say, this is not our leader. We elected this leader because he bribed us, he intimidated us, and by the end of the day, that person will not be able to deliver to the masses, because he didn't influence. He's not a leader per se. Yes.
Okay. You see, sometimes we are caught up in situations whereby we are electing people out of sympathy. Maybe even in this country, we might have been there before. And don't you think there is a way people who want to attain leadership and they are not leaders themselves, don't you think there's a way they corner the masses until they elect them?
Yes, there is what we call the sympathy vote. And it comes in when a leader has, or somebody, a potential leader has undergone a certain issue that elicits some sympathy
from them.
And mostly, you know about the process of voting. Sometimes it's an emotional process. When a leader is able to touch people's emotions,
definitely,
that makes people identify with that person. And one very strong emotion is sympathy. So sometimes leaders, and even very top leaders, we have seen them using the sympathy card to win votes.
Yes.
And by the end of the day, that doesn't come the right leader.
And so by sympathizing with just somebody because he has gone through tribulation or through an issue or through some challenges, we will not end up with the right leaders. So you can rightly look at the camera and tell people not to elect a leader on the vote of sympathy.
Yes. I can really tell the masses that sympathy vote doesn't work.
It will not give us the people we are looking for. It will give us
the right readers. And we have seen it happen. For example, Revrend, I can give you an example.
Yes.
When a leader, sometimes let's say maybe a member of parliament dies, we find the family fronting one of them to come and contest for the seat. A family member, maybe the wife, the son, or something.
And I think it is happening a lot in our
country. It happens a lot. And out of that sympathy, because of the bereavement of in the family, you find people electing that person. Most of the time, the people don't get the right leader.
They will not get the right
leadership. Because it's the emotion of sympathy that was used for that leader. But not qualifications, not any merits towards getting the right leader.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's loud and clear.
Yes.
And my dear viewer, we are trying to help this society. We must end up with good leaders. We cannot be going through election cycles and we find ourselves in the same place, lamenting about the same predicaments. We must come to a place where we wise up and we are able to go for the right leadership for this country. And election is next year. I want you to help, my dear viewer, my brother, John Mwai, to be able to identify a good leader, the right leader.
Yes.
Because a right leader can be described even before he is seen. And we are able to say, if he has this and he has this and he has this, this is the right person. And I wonder whether you can take us through that route just briefly.
Yes. There are quite a number of traits that we look in for a good leader.
For a good leader.
And even before we look at the traits, there's something that we say that there is that conception that a leader is born, not made. There are some people who say that a leader is made, not born. So there is that question, is a leader made or born? And one of the things that I would like to tell our viewers is that though a leader is born, a leader also needs some skills to become a good leader. You might be born with that characteristics of a good leader, but you need skills. You need to develop your capacity, your skills to become a good leader. And there are a number of traits that we say a good leader has. One of the traits is that a good leader, whether in the politics, whether in the church, whether in the corporate world, has to have a vision.
He must have a vision.
He must have a vision.
Okay.
And an achievable, a clear and achievable vision.
Achievable.
Yes.
That's key.
That is key.
I can hear the way you're emphasizing.
Because you can have a vision that is not achievable.
But it is sounding great in the ears of the people.
Yes. You are able to psych people that we are able to achieve this. But when you come to the delivery, you are not able to achieve that vision.
Yes.
So a good leader, and even the Bible says that without vision, people perish.
People perish.
A good leader must have a good, clear vision where he's taking his people.
Yes.
Because without a vision, you won't be able to take people anywhere. You'll just become a leader, but you won't take people to the next step.
But at the same time, it must be achievable.
It must be achievable.
So, you see, viewers, we have to be clear on this one. Somebody can come with a great idea, but before it blows your mind, can you ascertain whether it is achievable?
Yes.
Because I think we have fallen into that pit many times.
Yes, we normally fall into that pit so many times. And I think the best example, we will keep on using it, is the political class. Because they come, sometimes they psych the masses that we shall do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But when they get to their offices, they are not able to achieve those. Because they are not able to deliver.
And we wonder where are those wise people who are advising us on what to do.
Yes. So we end up having leaders who promised us things 5 years down the line, they were not able to achieve that. Because they had visions that were only to psych the masses, but not to achieve those goals. Yes.
Amazing. So now when it comes to vision, because you have said that is one of the standing clear traits to identify a leader, then this person, so that we may say he has a vision, what must we see in him? Because their leaders are being elected into leadership. They get in the office. They are clueless.
Yes.
They are clueless. They don't know even how to tackle it. They don't know even how to go about it. And if there is vision, then the person knows where to take people.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are some of the things should the masses look for this one leader who has a vision?
One of the things that that goes in line with the people's vision is what the leader is telling you. What is that what you need, you as the people? Is that what you need? Because sometimes the leaders will come with their own vision, but that does not translate to your needs. So even in our areas, even in our localities, we need to look at what do we need as this area. What do we need as the young people? What do we need as women? What do we need?
So the person should not come and say, I have a vision, and yet he cannot define the needs of the people.
He can't define the needs of the people. It's the people who should tell the leader, this is what we need. And then out of that, the leader comes up with a vision and understands what is the needs of these people. Because sometimes the leaders come up with very general visions that really people cannot identify with them.
Wow. Wow, that's like quick fire. We must come to the end of this first session, but definitely I believe, my dear viewer, you are identifying very important aspects of leadership, and we are going to elections next year. There must be that understanding that not everybody even the people we sympathize with will take us to where we want to go. We must look for visionary leaders so that we can have what we want. We'll take a short break. We will be right back. Welcome again to our second session here on EBN TV on the Leadership Challenge show. Leadership is a major issue in the world today, and we must engage ourselves in conversations that will bring us to a place where we can help the masses to begin to look for worthy leaders, whether it is nationally, county levels, church level, organizations and institutions. With us in studio, we continue with our guest today, John Mwai. Is by the way, I need to say this. John Mwai is the author of this amazing book. Lord Lift Me Up, and it is a book on leadership. And he has dropped very important things in this book. Thank you so much, John Mwai, for writing this book and also coming with it here on studio. We want to move on. He is here to help us in our conversation today. So, we appear to identify some people that can help us. And we are sure they have what it takes. But when they begin the journey of leadership, they don't seem to get along. It's like they have fallen into a pit. Are there pitfalls when it comes to leadership?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are pitfalls when it comes to leadership, because somebody might start very well. Somebody might have a lot of influence to the masses,
yes,
and they are able to follow the person.
And people know they did not make a mistake.
And the people know they did not make a mistake.
They got the right one.
Yes.
Yes.
But along the way,
yes,
the leader is unable to deliver what he promised.
Yes.
Because we normally say that one way of identifying a good leader,
yes,
is that the leader must be able to deliver on the promise. What he promised the people,
yes,
he has to deliver on it. Secondly, he has to deliver on it on time.
Yes.
Thirdly, he has to deliver on it on budget.
Wow. I think, my brother John, you have to repeat that one to us so that we get it right.
Yes.
Yes.
When a leader gets into a novice,
yes,
or when a leader now gets the mandate to lead the people, he makes some promises.
Yes.
So that person, that leader has to deliver the promise on time.
On time.
Yes. Firstly, he has to deliver the promise. That promise has to be delivered on time.
Yes.
Then the promise has to be delivered on budget.
On budget. Achievability.
Yes.
Achievability.
Yes. Because you can promise people you'll do this, but then you deliver it after 10 years, which was supposed to be delivered in 3 years.
Yes.
As a leader, you have failed.
Yes.
You might tell people you are delivering a project with 10 million Kenya shillings. By the end of the project, you are able to you are delivering it with 20 million shillings.
Yes.
As a leader, you have failed. So the people will be able to see that our leader has failed in delivering on budget, on time, and on promise.
Yeah. Well, I think the things that you are talking about are very pertinent when it comes to delivery of goals.
Yes.
And I'm happy you are saying it, and my dear viewer is getting it right now, that the promise has to be delivered.
Yes.
It has to be delivered on time.
Yes.
And it must be achievable. It must be within budget. Yes. And I think we can maybe delve deeper into this because now some leaders have been promising us many things. That
Yes.
this country and the citizens of this country have a lot of promises. Every leader comes and promises this and promise the other. But some of them, they find people already dead.
Yes.
And yet it was supposed to be help.
Yes.
How do you help people that have already died?
Yes, yes,
So now, when so leaders must go there with that burden.
Yes.
I must deliver.
I must deliver for my people.
But I must also deliver it in good time.
Yes.
To help them. Are there other pitfalls? So because we're on that part of pitfalls.
Now, when you don't do that,
Yes.
you start failing as a leader.
Uh-huh.
Another thing that most of the time makes leaders fail, and the people are able to see that the leader is failing. If you come into an office or you become a leader and you don't make people better than the way you found them, you are failing as a leader. Because leadership is about changing people's lives.
Changing people's lives.
Yes.
And leaders, you must get this right.
Yes.
Yes.
It's about changing people's lives to the best.
To the best.
To improve people's lives. If you are elected, let's say, for example, as an MP, and that by the end of your term, even the schools that are in your area have deteriorated. Even the electricity that was there is not there. Even the roads have deteriorated.
Yeah, things are becoming worse.
Things are becoming worse.
Yes.
You are a bad leader. By the end of the day, as a leader, you are supposed to show that I improved the lives of these people. I changed the lives of women. I changed the lives of the youth. I changed the lives of the people I lead.
Yes.
If you are not able to change the lives of people, you don't have business being a leader.
Wow.
And even in the corporate world, if you get into an organization,
yes,
and it starts going downwards, it was making very high profits,
yes,
but as the managing director, the company starts going down, you are a bad leader.
You see, now we will also come to the place where we are going to assess our current leadership that we have, whether it is in institutions, churches, or national leadership. But we have this talk of legacy.
Yes.
I want to leave a legacy. So people are doing projects that are taking people nowhere to leave a legacy. And you have said a very important thing, and I really will want you to delve more into this, that it's about changing people's lives. It's not about projects.
Yes.
And I think our leaders need to come at that place where they understand it this way. Can you throw in one or two things there about legacy and changing people's lives?
Sometimes our leaders get into a hurry to leave a legacy, and they forget that there are people who need their help. There are people who need their leadership down there.
Yes.
Yeah? There are people who are struggling with the day-to-day needs. People who may not be so much helped by infrastructure, by electricity, by the big projects.
Yes,
there are people who are down there, who need a change in their lives. So sometimes the leaders concentrate so much in leaving a legacy, a big legacy, that I did ABCD, that I did build this road. But they forget other needs of the people.
Yes.
They forget by the time they are leaving their legacy, there are people who are suffering. So they put their legacy ahead of people's needs. Yes.
You know, I'm a preacher, and I feel like speaking like a preacher
Yes, Reverend. Yes, you
because
are.
I think legacies have a spirit.
Yes.
And the spirit that legacies have is the attitude of the masses.
Yes.
Are they happy or they are weeping? They are mourning. They are sorrowing. So if then a legacy does not have the spirit, is dead.
Yes.
It cannot help anybody.
Yes.
It's better that it was not done. And many people have, these projects are all over. I think you have gone to your own county, home county, and you see governors trying to do projects that really have nothing to do with changing people's lives, but they are doing it for the sake of the name.
Yes.
So is it a pitfall? What is it? We are on pitfalls. Can we now talk about the pits that leaders find themselves falling into? Maybe they get corrupt or maybe the love of money.
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
You can
Actually,
mention
one of the pitfalls that they fall into, and I can relate it to the issue of the legacy. It says the leaders get into self-interest achievement. They want to achieve for themselves. They have some interest in whatever they are doing.
The pit of glory.
The pit of glory.
People must praise me.
People must praise me.
So they go for it.
They go for it.
But they are falling into a pit.
But they are falling into a pit.
Wow.
And that's one of the problem when the leadership changes hands. Let's say even in our counties.
Yes.
Because maybe you are governor and you are not elected the next term.
Yes.
The next governor who comes starts fresh projects. Yeah. Because maybe the projects you started, they were not the needs of the people.
Yeah.
Do you find so many white elephant projects in our counties? So some of the leaders, they want glory, they want big names. And they sacrifice that for the needs of the people. Another pitfall is the issue of integrity.
Integrity.
Yes.
Yes.
And we normally say in a very simple term that integrity is doing the right thing.
Yes.
Whether anybody is seeing you or not.
Yeah.
And integrity is key in leadership.
Yeah.
If, for example, you are not able to manage people's finances, resources well, and you start putting them into your pocket, into your own use, and we start having issues of corruption, as a leader, that's a big pitfall. Wow. And that's why we are having so many court cases, you know, corruption court cases, because leaders are not having high level of integrity.
They have fallen into the pit.
They have fallen into the
integrity issues.
Yes.
Okay. And there are many more.
There are many more.
Many more.
Yes.
And now maybe we can begin by asking ourselves, then how can these pits be avoided? What should leaders do to avoid falling into the pit? Because a leader that is in the pit cannot lead his people to desired goals. Yes.
One of the things that can make a leader study straight is following the rules, because every organization, every country has its code of conduct. Has a like the country Kenya, we have the constitution, we have laws on integrity, we have economic crimes laws. So a good leader is the one who is able to stand by the rules of the land, by the laws and the policies that are governing that organization you are leading. If it's a church, you must be a leader who is following the policies of the church. Because by the time when you start bending the rules, that is where the problem starts.
Bending the rules.
Yes.
To suit maybe your relatives.
Suit your relatives.
You know, some people are in court about taking relatives to Rio de Janeiro. In the other time, Olympics.
Yes.
And you see that those are integrity issues.
Those are integrity issues.
But they can be avoided.
Yes.
They can be avoided by just doing the right thing. Do you think when it comes to the pitfalls, why do they end up in the pit? Is it because their motives are wrong when they came to leadership? Or maybe they are doing it to please other people rather than to deliver the people they are leading?
I think there is a lot of pressures on our leaders, especially the political leaders. Because when you get into a there are so many expectations.
Yes.
There are people who come to you and telling you, we helped you get the seat. Your time now to give back. Payback time.
Wow.
They could be relatives, they could be friends, they could even senior people.
It's our time to eat.
It's our time to eat.
Yes.
And if you are not a principled leader, if you don't know what you are doing, you start using public resources to make those people happy. That's why you find someone taking the friends, taking the family, using public money to please the family, to pay back. And by the end of the day, you get into integrity issue. And the court now, you are started now being hunted by the
Do you think some of the leaders are falling into the pit because their motive was wrong? They went into leadership just to become rich. to bring themselves and their families out of poverty and not necessarily the masses.
Yes.
Yes.
That is also correct, Reverend. Some of them got into leadership because they want big names, they want to protect their properties, they want to protect their interests, and they also want to get rich. So when they get there, they start amassing people's resources for their own benefit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So motives matter a lot.
In leadership.
And as a leader, if you're going into leadership, ask yourself, why am I offering myself for leadership?
Yes.
Is it just selfish or it is for the people? And they like to say that they are doing it for the people, but now when they begin to steal money,
yes,
and you know this man is doing projects that are not worthy his salary, then what can you say about that leader? He has already fallen into a trap,
yes,
and he cannot deliver what he promised,
yes,
to the people. And so there are many pitfalls, and I don't know whether you have anything else in your mind of how to avoid pitfalls.
Yes, the way I had said that is by following the rules of the game, because every game has rules. If you don't follow the rules of the game, if you don't control yourself as a leader, because you have to control yourself, because as a leader you are entrusted so much resources by the people, by the government, by the law. Yeah? If you are not careful, you start now misusing what is entrusted on you, because when we you know positions of leadership are given on trust on behalf of the people.
Yes.
We are giving that leadership position. You do what on the good things
right
on our
thing.
behalf, the right things on our behalf as the masses.
So
when you forget that and you start doing your own things, that is the end of your leadership.
You know, one of the things, and I think you have mentioned it, is that people are falling into pits of leadership leadership because of influence, because they are being pushed by other people. As we have observed our leadership in this country, there are some leaders that crumble under pressure, but there are some leaders you can do nothing about it. You will have to wait until their time is over for you to be able to do those wrong things you want to do.
Yes.
What is happening? Is it what is it about a personal stand and personal being independence, being a man that can think on your feet and do the right thing rather than crumbling on pressure ati ya kwamba simu imetoka mahali fulani unaambiwa ufanye hivi. Because kuna watu, there are leaders, those who receive calls and they crumble. There are other leaders who say, no, as long as I'm here, it is not going to happen. Wait until I exit. Yeah.
You know, as I had said, as a leader, as long as you follow the rules of the game, you are safe.
You are safe.
They are leaders who bend the rules to fit them, or they bend the rules because somebody senior has called them, and they bend every rules of the game. As a leader, if you follow the rules, even if whoever calls, you say, I'm going to stick by the rules. This is what the law says. The law says.
Wow.
I have to follow the law. That one, as a leader, you will be safe. And it will take you well. Unlike a leader who bets, who moves because of pleasures from A, B, C, D. A leader should be somebody firm on issues.
Wow.
You say it's a no, if you say no, it's a no. You say yes, it's a yes. But you should not be a leader who is like this, who is moving like this. You have to be very clear on what you are doing. And the best thing is following the rules of the game.
Yes. And this is for you leaders, the people that have already taken responsibilities to lead the country, lead institutions. You are supposed just to do the right thing, no matter which pressure is coming to you from wherever. You better be sacked and go home, but not bend the rules and do what you are not supposed to do. Well, we are taking another short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, my dear viewer. I believe you are enjoying the show and you are getting informed on matters and issues that pertain to leadership. We continue to press on our discussion today. We did a little bit of definitions today. We look at the pitfalls in leadership, and we wanted now to take some time and talk, because we are not living away from the stage. We are on a stage right now, and there are things that are happening in our country, and there are things that are going on in our institutions, and we want just to interrogate the kind of leadership that we have. My brother John, what kind of leadership do you think we have in this country? Are we succeeding? Are we having bad leadership? Where are we when it comes to leadership?
I can say that we are having a problem with the current leadership. Because, for example, in the political arena, we are having issues with the ruling party, for example. Because we gave them votes to become the ruling party. And then at a point they separated. One part, like it became the opposition. We also have a problem with the opposition of this country. Because the opposition, they didn't rise to their jobs.
Crumbled.
Their positions.
The opposition
crumbled. It crumbled and joined the government. So we can say the political class has let us down. We can also say that the leadership in the corporate is also it has tried, because we can see big corporations making very high profits. We can talk of the Safaricom, we can talk of Equity Bank. We can see the corporate leadership is doing marvelous job, but the political leadership, it's not doing well.
Wow.
We have also leaders in the church, and we can see what is happening in our churches. Sometimes we can see even
leaders
fights in the
taking fights in churches. We can see
leaders taking possessions. You know, in the political arena.
And you know, it is good that we are talking about a current leadership that we have in this country, and the bishops have offered to mediate and bring peace between the president and the deputy. What do you say about this?
That is a very good initiative.
It's a good initiative.
They are taking leadership, but I'm also finding it they are doing it a little bit late, because it's like the end of the term. We would have wished they did that at the beginning of this problem between the president.
Why are you
and the
saying this? Do you think harm has already been done? You think it has hurt us already?
Yes, because now the Jubilee government, it is started by fights. I wish the mediation was done in good time, because they could have saved the 4 years that we have spent in politicking, in squabbles.
So now, when it comes to the leadership that we see all over the place, and we know the things that are plaguing our country, how do you rate our leadership, especially when it comes to integrity issues? We have just discussed about pitfalls here. Where do you think the leadership generally is standing?
On integrity issues, our leaders are doing poorly. We can say that, especially if we look at our courts, the corruption cases that are in our courts, the governors, the MPs, the MCAs. Every day we are reading in the news about misuse of funds, misuse of funds in counties, misuse of CDF funds, and misuse of funds everywhere. So we can say we are having integrity issues in our leadership.
Okay. Definitely, of course, everybody is feeling like, these guys is like they were just elected to make money for themselves, and just because money is getting lost. And it's no secret. Even the president said that we are losing to the tune of 2 billion. I think that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. What will it help this nation if now tomorrow our president wakes up and announces that they are reconciling with the deputy?
It would be very good if they reconcile. But at this point, any reconciliation will be not for the interest of Kenyans, but it will be for people's interest. Any reconciliation at this point in time, I'm sure it will be done to achieve certain salvation
goals, interests.
Yes. We are going to the election year, so everybody is staying strategically to win the election.
Yeah.
So it doesn't whatever it takes for someone to win an election, they will do it. Yes.
So some of
wish
the coalitions are just, for selfish interest.
For selfish interest. And that's the problem we have in Kenya. Every election time we get into coalitions. But they are coalitions so that they can just win elections. After that they crumble. Yes, because they are not based on any ideologies or interest for the people. They are based on self-interest. After the election and they win the elections, the coalitions crumble. Because they didn't have people in mind. Well,
there's a lot of pressure when it comes to church ministers.
Yes.
And I think 3 major denominations in this country, Christian denominations, the Catholics, the Anglicans. It was started by the Anglicans.
Yes.
And then yesterday, I think Redeemed Gospel Church also, I heard the Archbishop, the announcement, they're saying no politicking in the church.
Yes.
Where does this leave the church leadership?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not
and
sure.
Is it the right thing?
Yeah. What I know is that even the political leaders are members of the church.
Yes.
And sometimes the political leaders need to talk to their people. And even the people in the church, they are the people who elected those leaders. So I would feel like the church is becoming so strict on the political leaders.
Yeah.
It's time they give them those forums. They talk to the people so that people can elect the right people. Otherwise, they won't manage to the people, the congregation in the church. They need to know their leaders. They need to know whom they are electing. So I would say that maybe the church should be a little bit flexible and have guidelines on what you can say as a politician in the church.
But do you think it goes on the left when political leaders come to church with that expectation I must be given the microphone? And sometimes some of these leaders we have in this country, they don't seem to have read the Bible or had a preacher in one single day.
Yes.
So it appears like they've been missing all the sermons that are being preached about integrity, the fear of God, holiness, and they are just waiting for the opportunity to be given a microphone to address is it really helping them spiritually when they come with that mind of I must be given the microphone to address the people?
That's true, Reverend. And actually sometimes they come and once they get the microphone, they all move out with their clouds.
After they make the speech.
They make the speech.
Yes.
Sometimes it's even before the sermon.
So it's not about church.
About church.
It's not about God.
Yes, it's not about
spirituality.
It's about the foods. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I would also urge the political leaders.
Should they really then be allowed to come and address the church?
They can be allowed. And maybe we can even say that the leadership in the church also to exercise their discretion to know which leader they are giving the microphone. Because they know them.
But you see now, like, for example, in the city of Nairobi, the churches are so mixed. In the church where I pastor, I have all parties in the church. So I cannot by any way appear to be favoring any leader from any part. How do I make sure I don't aggravate my members by allowing this leader to speak this year and the other one comes and speaks? Will my church not be broken?
It will have a problem.
Yes.
Because now you will also be fighting like you are taking sides. But the best thing is that we know our leaders. We know those who come even to church to spread hate, to incite people. And you can use that to gauge the leader to give the microphone. Because there are leaders who will come there to incite people, to insult other leaders, to talk bad about other leaders. But there are leaders who will come with good intentions to ask for votes and to talk about their goals. Yes.
They want to use the church.
They want to use the church.
To say that. And do we agree the church is a place we can do that, or is a place we cannot allow that? That
is very debatable, Reverend. There are churches who are open, and I know even now.
Yeah.
And also, we can also say, what is the motive of the leadership of the church allowing that person to speak? Because we also have seen where the motivation is money. Because when that leader comes to the church, he also leaves a lot of money for the church. So we also need, as church leadership, we need also to raise and say, no, we won't accept money if you want to buy that with your money. Yes.
Okay, let's move on. Next year, we are electing leaders.
Yes.
And we want to begin to talk about who do we need for this country? What kind of a person do we need in this position? And I don't know whether if you look ahead, you know exactly what kind of a leader we need as a nation and kind of leaders we need in our counties. What kind of leaders do we need?
One, we need leaders who are of integrity. How do we know leaders? We know them. We know those leaders with integrity. Even at our local levels, we know those leaders with integrity. Out of their conduct, how they behave, how they talk, we know them. Secondly, we need leaders who can lead by example. People who are able to do what they are saying people to do. Because there are also leaders who normally tell people we do this, but they are not doing it. So we also need leaders who are able to lead by example. Then visionary leaders. Leaders who have visions. Visions that are we are able to identify with them from the ground level there.
Okay, so now so we are electing leaders, and we have all types of people offering themselves for election leadership. What do we do so that we get the right people? Because the good people that we think can make impact and change in this nation, they don't appear to have the masses and the votes. How do we handle this kind of a situation? Because we know very good leaders of good integrity, leaders who cannot lead us into battles and hatred, and leaders that will give us national cohesion. But they cannot come near anywhere. Even if they stand today, they will not be number 15 out of 15.
Yes, that is one of the problem in the leadership in this country, especially the political context.
And is it the leaders or the masses?
Sometimes the masses contribute.
They contribute.
And we normally say the masses, the people get the leaders they deserve.
When people get leaders they deserve.
Yes.
Okay.
And when we look at the leadership, we can say that is how the people are. Because one of the key factors that plays a big role in the political contest is the issue of finances. Who has more money? It doesn't matter however good you are as a leader. It doesn't matter about your visions. But when you go down there to the common mwananchi, he or she is able to look at the leader who has a lot of finances. Because our people are also so much impoverished. They don't have money. They don't have school fees. They don't have money for food. So somebody here comes with very good ideas. 200 shillings. Somebody has very good ideas on what he wants to do, but he's empty-handed. But there is somebody else who does have nothing, but he has 200 shillings for your unga that evening. So you find most of the times we elect people who are coming to us with the unga.
You know, I had PLO Lumumba in one of the popular TV stations talking about when he went about in his constituency, talking about his ambition of becoming a president, and was not able to give the people anything. And he was even insulted. He was even called Mujinga, where you'll never be president. Now, surely, where will the good people that can steer us to prosperity, where will they find way to access, to ascend into leadership?
One of the things for us, the people, for us, the voters.
The voters have to change.
We have to change our mindset. We have to change how we elect people, and we have to elect the right people. Let those who have money come, give us money, but during the voting, let's vote the right people. Because I can know this country has lost great minds in leadership positions because they are not able to bribe voters.
Are you telling us that we are to blame for the bad leaders that we will have in the year 2022 and 2023 and 2024? If we happen to have bad leaders, it is us to blame?
It is the voters to blame. Squarely the voters to blame. Yes.
Did you hear that? My dear viewer, it's you who is making us to have the leaders that are causing hell to this country. And if it is possible, let us now not follow the patterns we have followed before. Let us begin to look for men of integrity, men who can take this country, and men who cannot oversee corruption, because a lot of leaders, even in government ministries, people are sitting in big chairs to oversee corruption going on in those ministries. So next year, leaders, I think we need to think about it and go for the right person. You better lose your vote, because there's a common saying in this country, ukipigia fulani, if you vote for so and so, your vote is lost. Your vote better be lost, but vote the right person. I think that is what I believe. My brother John Mwai, we are wrapping up this show, and I will want you to look at your camera and address some of the leadership issues that we have discussed in this show. Maybe in summarizing it 1 or 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Revrend Kavoi.
Yeah.
And I would like to talk to our viewers and tell them that it's the high time now we elect the right people. We have the opportunity, we have the chance. We have so many times failed.
Yes.
And after 1 year, we start complaining that so and so is not doing the right work, is not doing the right job. As a voter, what we have, the weapon we have is our voters card.
Yes.
Electing the right leaders.
Yes.
Otherwise, the leaders we get is the leaders we put into the office. It's not about finances, it's not about the bribes, it's not about the money, but it's about looking at the right person. Somebody who has high level of integrity, somebody who has a good achievable vision, and it's somebody who is able to lead us to the next level as a country.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, John, for being here. I would also like you to say briefly about what you usually do, because many institutions also need your services, and they can invite you, whether they are institutions or church leaders and all that. And I think you can say that.
Thank you very much, Revrend, for the opportunity. And as I had said there before, my name is John Mwai. I'm a leadership trainer. I'm a leadership coach. And I train with a firm called John Mwai Consulting, or JMC. We normally help leaders to deliver on time, to deliver on promise, and to deliver on budget. We help leaders in the churches, in the corporate world, in our banks, in our insurance industry, and even in our even the political leaders, to make the leaders the best they can be. We help leaders to become the best they can be.
And so, my dear viewer, please look out for this book in the bookstores and buy yourself a copy. Lord, Lead Me Up. It's not just as easy as it appears here. It talks more about leadership pitfalls. And when you find yourself in the pit, what do you say? Lord, lift me up. Thank you so much, John Mwai, for being together with us.
Thank you, Reverend.
It was a joy talking to you, and we expect you to come and talk to us again. And my dear viewer, thank you for keeping together with us. And until next time, God bless you.